It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Ravens, led by the leading rusher amongst quarterbacks in 2018. In his second season now, Lamar Jackson. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Past the 20, 10. A big play there on the first play of the game. 68 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
We got four. We got four.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Darnold from the gun. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. On first down, it's Darnold, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Yeah, trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Muscling free near the 40. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And it's a 2nd down. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for the New York Jets. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the number 1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He may try and run for this. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the 1st down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face an up, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Ingram, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Two times.
Here's Bell. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Let's go. You tighten up.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Slam, slam, slam.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore in the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Jackson on first down. Got him in. It's Brown. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On second down and 4. Darnold caught here by Griffin. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Returnable for Thomas. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. Breaks free again. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Let's go.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Going for it all. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Nate Hairston there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. To throw is Jackson. He wants it all for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nick Boyle, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Tucker now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Darnold. This will be caught by Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 42. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Darnold, that's complete. It's Bell. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing again is Darnold. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Get wide.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Man, where has the season gone? We're into week 15 now. So let's give everybody a look at what's coming up here on what should be a very interesting weekend of football. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers as they get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale taking on the Cleveland Browns. And finally, the next to last Monday night game of the year, Colts Saints from the Superdome. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. A first down run for Bell, not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's second down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Thomas. And he works free. He's got daylight. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Wow, sensational 95 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to pour it on. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, and boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return. That one.
We know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out now come the Jets.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
Again, it's Bell. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is fielded at the 7. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
I'm coming after you. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Now it's Ingram. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike. I got you. I got you, son. I got you, son.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And an alley to run. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, 50 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I'll bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Bell running on first down as he'll push forward for about 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Bell. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Crowder. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Check pass. Check pass.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold, he throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Jets on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Darnold down to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is RG3. It's complete to Brown, right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Push him back. Push him back.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Here we go. Hey, hold on. I'm here all day. Anyway, here all day. Watch safety creep.
On 2nd down and 4. Griffin. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Darnold. Caught here by Bell. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Fielded at the 20. Able to avoid him at the 40. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, Ingram. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And you hear that? You hear that?
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out come the Jets. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And Darnold, he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. Tucker now to add the point after. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. They are looking to preserve this shutout, so for them, a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, a lot of pride that goes into that. Because let's face it, when you've had that kind of a day, you do not want any type of a fluke play to end it. You're going to win the game. That's not the issue. But to have a clean ledger going into the locker room and sitting in film next week, oh, that's satisfying.
Good.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
They're looking to cradle that goose egg. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Darnold toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Back to throw, Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Another carry for the workhorse tonight. Ingram fighting through it. He's got space. Still shedding tackles.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.